and sprawling. This mirror of the entire internet come out of the brains of these two apparently normal guys. My curiosity about Reddit would not be sated on that day in Austin. Huffman and Ohanian had left Reddit years ago by this point and had measured interest in talking about it. But I was persistent. And back in Brooklyn, Ohanian and I met at a cafe on Atlantic Avenue halfway between his loft overlooking the Brooklyn waterfront and the apartment I shared with 4 roommates on noisy Flatbush Avenue. He told me the Reddit origin story. It was the most improbable startup journey I'd ever heard. I wanted to learn everything. The next time we met, I pitched Ohanian on speaking to me exclusively for a book. I also flew to San Francisco and asked Huffman to give me his time and attention for the same purpose. They both said yes. I knew I'd gotten extremely lucky, but I didn't know that by this time, just months since I'd first met them, squeezed shoulder to shoulder in a tiny coffee shop booth, the two men were no longer on speaking terms. There was plenty more I didn't know. An ocean, really. Over the next few years, I conducted dozens of interviews, racked up introductions to current and former Reddit employees, and pored over leaked chat logs and old photographs. In the meantime, Reddit, as its user base swelled and its leadership tried to transform it into a profitable company, underwent a series of staffing convulsions and scandals that would have proven the downfall of many startups. A well-regarded Silicon Valley insider was installed as the new CEO, and in the midst of a massive pornography scandal, raised $50 million. Shortly after, he flamed out under mysterious circumstances. Silicon Valley feminist hero Ellen Pao, who famously sued a top venture capital firm for gender discrimination, was promoted to chief executive. In 2015, Pao, too, would be forced out after a user revolt that included sexist attacks, personal threats, and which culminated in a near site-wide blackout. It appeared as if Reddit's enormous community, by then the 7th most popular site on the American internet, might snuff itself out. During Reddit's roller coaster adolescence, Ohanian's and Huffman's stars had risen. After becoming the face of the tech world's efforts to solve net neutrality, Ohanian wrote a book and became an in-demand speaker at U.S. college campuses and tech conferences. Huffman followed a less flashy, though no less impressive, path. He became one of the startup world's most respected chief technology officers. Life hadn't been all rainbows, though. There was the widening rift in the friendship of the two founders. Also, Ohanian's mother had died of brain cancer, Huffman's marriage was deteriorating, and in early 2013, their one-time friend and business partner, the hacker wunderkind Aaron Swartz, under indictment for wire fraud and computer fraud, had hanged himself in his Brooklyn apartment. It seemed like a hell of a story. 2 nice guys who made it by crafting something incredible and yet ridiculously unwieldy, with no lack of turbulence along the way. I continued interviewing Huffman and Ohanian, hearing their founding and life stories through all of it. Then something remarkable happened. Pao dramatically resigned from Reddit, and Huffman made the long-considered and difficult decision to step back in. He would return to the helm of his creation as chief executive. Ohanian would be alongside him on the board and in an operational role, too, evangelizing for the company's future. The looming question was whether Huffman's leadership could turn the whole misdirected enterprise around. Ohanian called me on my cell that evening. Now this, I thought, this is a book. Over the years of reporting and researching, I had a close look at 3 eras of leadership at Reddit. I watched the site's community heave and grow to hundreds of millions of people, who, at turns, participated in extraordinarily uplifting moments, and at others, engaged in hateful, harmful behavior, and even mutinied against the very system that had nurtured them. I was rapt by the hyper-politicized lead-up to the 2016 election on Reddit, which had already